This true story took place in Houston. The difficulties of a midlife crisis come to everyone at different times in their lives, and some of them are bypassed. I'm in the middle of a midlife crisis. I'm Jerry. Even though I am 38 years old, problems have dogged me at every turn. My lingering emotional state has been driving me crazy for years. I am constantly reevaluating my life experiences and finding that they do not correlate in any way with my expectations of life. My midlife crisis began to worsen when I got married at the age of 36. I married my girlfriend when we were still dating, and I was a lover of beautiful and unusual girls. All the girls looked up to me because I was beautiful. I would go to the gym and feel the stares. I was desirable. I was strong. I was cool and handsome. I was so beautiful that the whole world was at my feet. At one point in my life, I started paying attention to my wrinkles, my gray hair. I stopped feeling the fervor and jealousy of my wife. I stopped feeling the stares and feeling any need from the opposite sex. From that moment on, I abandoned all my interests. My wife was no longer attracted to me as she used to be. She stopped making hints, somehow taking care of herself. And I stopped going to the gym, stopped socializing with friends. I started to feel depressed, tired all the time, feeling sorry for myself. Inside, I felt devastated and unfair for everything that was happening to me. It couldn't go on like this for long. One day I pulled myself together, and with the strength that was still somehow wavering inside me, I went to the gym and bought a season ticket. The most interesting thing is that I was offered to coach a girl, in the hope that I will get at least some emotions that I have not visited for a long time. I agreed. New coach, new experience, new feelings, new training. Our first training time was more hectic. We didn't know each other, and we were cautious. We tried to shut each other out. I was embarrassed that I had been out of shape for a long time. And she, I think, from being a man. She coached the women here more often. After a while, our relationship grew into a friendship, and we even began to exchange lewd jokes. Every evening after training, I walked her home since my class was the last one. It was more comfortable for her to go, and I was interested in spending time with someone. After all, sports increase the level of happy hormones. So after a workout, when I got home, I liked to pounce on my wife with caresses. But more often than not, she fought, refused, was wary of me, which offended me very much. Our relationship was no longer as close as it had been before marriage. It couldn't last that long. My abstinence made itself felt. One evening, when I was once again seeing the trainer off, she invited me for tea and dessert, which we had burned during a cardio workout in her bedroom. As I sat in the coach's bedroom, sipping juice after a workout in bed, I was overcome with a feeling of warmth and comfort. It was a stark contrast to the tension and distance I felt in my marriage. The trainer, whose name was Sarah, had a knack for making me feel at ease and bringing out a side of me that had been dormant for a long time. As we chatted and laughed, I found myself opening up to her in a way I hadn't opened up to anyone else. Sarah listened attentively to me, offering words of encouragement and understanding. It was a refreshing change from the strained communication I had experienced at home. In that moment, I realized that my midlife crisis wasn't just about aging or lost youth. It was about feeling seen, heard, and appreciated for who I really am. Sarah's presence reminded me of the person I used to be: confident, energetic, and full of vigor. As the evening drew to a close, I thanked Sarah for her hospitality and kindness. As I walked home, I felt clarity and purpose awaken in me. It was time to look at the problems in my marriage, communicate openly and honestly with my wife, and rediscover the passion and connection we had lost along the way. The next day, I mustered up the courage to have a heart-to-heart talk with my wife. I shared my feelings of neglect and longing, expressing my desire to rebuild our relationship and reignite the spark that brought us together from the beginning. To my surprise, my wife listened attentively, tears glistening in her eyes. She, too, was struggling with her insecurities and fears. Together, we vowed to work on our marriage, to prioritize communication and understanding, and to never lose sight of the love that brought us together. In the weeks that followed, my wife and I embarked on a journey of rediscovering and renewing ourselves. We attended counseling, went on romantic dates, and tried to prioritize each other's needs and desires. Slowly but surely, the walls erected between us began to crumble, revealing a deeper connection and understanding than we had ever known. And as we navigated the challenges of middle age together, we became stronger, more resilient, and more in love than ever before. Our shared experiences, both struggles and triumphs, brought us closer together and taught us the true meaning of commitment and partnership. In the end, it wasn't about avoiding the difficulties of a midlife crisis, but about facing them head-on and coming out the other side, hand in hand, ready to embrace whatever the future held. And as we looked toward the horizon, I knew that with my wife by my side, I could weather any storm and overcome any challenges that came our way. Cheating is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it can save you and your marriage, but it's different for everyone.